Perhaps maybe you guys can help me find ZT knives? I keep looking for them, but I can't seem to find them anywhere. I think I may have found one. I think I'd estimate this one to be, I don't know, maybe from 2019? Man, this thing is ancient. What's going on, everybody? The Real Sharif M here, and I'm here with, man, I'm sorry to say, but definitely a critical video, if you didn't guess by the intro. Please help me get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm so close. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button down below. It really helped me grow the channel, helps me with the algorithm and all of that good stuff. And if you guys want to see my personal knife designs, head over to @ManganaSteel on Instagram. Link will be down in the description below. Let's kind of get into it, man. Really, what I wanted to talk about is what happened to one of the greatest American knife companies. I can't seem to find them. And really, I don't mean that with any sort of exaggeration. They have essentially disappeared off of the map of relevancy within the knife community. And it's really, really, really saddening for me to say that. Because honestly, they have always been one of my favorite brands. Who am I talking about but none other than ZT, Zero Tolerance, right? These guys really wear the premium line of Kershaw. They were the premium American mass production knife company. They were the ones to go to, in my opinion, if you really wanted stuff that was like creative and collaborative, even more so than Spyderco. But they seem to have just given up all of their market share to the competition. And while I love Spyderco, I think they're a great company, and they do make great knives, I really miss some of the collaborations that ZT used to come out with. It was always a personal dream of mine to get to a point in my knife designing career to be able to work with them. But they have so fundamentally disappeared from the marketplace. It's kind of ridiculous. And I don't know why. There is no good reason that this company should be this obscure to the marketplace. Literally, if somebody were to join the knife community today, they would have no idea of the existence of ZT because they're not even in the conversation. They have been so far gone that literally Spyderco and the Chinese marketplace have completely sucked up their entire market share. And I don't know how they're going to get it back at this point. Let me put this into perspective. ZT historically had always been one of the companies that you go to get really, really beautiful American-made knives done with collaborations with some of the most premier American knife makers, right? We're talking like R.J. Martin, Hinderer, Emerson, and even foreign designers such as Sinkovich and Cecchini, right? You could get an affordable Cecchini, you could get an affordable Sinkovich, through ZT. You could get a Hinderer that was better made by ZT than Hinderer himself. You could get an Emerson that was better made than Emerson from ZT. And now they're just gone. Let me put this in even deeper context for you, okay? The last meaningful releases in the folding market from ZT were in 2021. We're at the start of 2023, and we have not seen a new folder since the assisted 0357 or the 2020 release of the 0308. I think the last pseudo-relevant model that they put out was the 0990, and it was such a flash in the pan. Like, I've never seen anybody talk about this since its initial release, because it was concepted as a budget 0999 copy, and the 0999 copy, or 0999, was made in 2016. So a 2021 release of a budget version of a premium model that they released back in 2016. Come on, ZT. You're better than this. You are always better than this. I mean, look at this guy. This is the, I always forget the model number, the 0393, right? The Hinderer Eclipse model. Love this knife. This is one of my favorite hard use knives. I swapped out the carbon fiber scales. I threw on some green, OD green micarta, got myself a genuine Hinderer clip, and man, the ergos on this thing is perfect. The action on this thing is beautiful. You know, it's such a great hard use knife. Comes in 20 CV, American steel from an American company, designed by an American designer. I mean, what more could you want? Like, this thing was awesome when it first came out, right? Then you have the ability to do insane collaborations, like this Gustavo Cecchini 0055 Airborne interpretation, which had this compound ground blade reverse tanto with the SLT system. They actually made a mass production version of Gustavo Cecchini's SLT flipper tab, which predates the Lee Williams kickstop. And all of a sudden, they do nothing else with it other than this one model. Now, yeah, there were 3 variants of this model, but it was the same exact knife, just with different anode work. Like, that's it, you know? But still, this is what ZT used to be, right? And then by far, my favorite knife from ZT, actually, one of my all-time favorite knives, the 0640. Designed by Ernest Emerson. It's a variation on his Viper fighting knife design. But this is knife perfection, man. Runs on washers, is hydraulically smooth. I put an enlarged thumb disc on here to give me a little bit more traction. But man, this knife alone really is like one of the greatest ZTs ever made. And if you were in the boat of thinking about, let's say, a Sebenza, I'd consider this first, honestly. And this knife has held me over from buying a Sebenza for so long, because it does everything that I'd want a Sebenza to do, and I think looks better, and it actually probably fits my hand better. It's a little bit larger than a Sebenza, and the ergos are just perfect. This is one of the greatest ZTs ever made, in my opinion. All we get in 2023 is the triple 006, a fixed blade. Now, don't get me wrong, it's all right. It's 3V, which is cool, you know. It comes with its own little like Kydex sheath and all of that. But I mean, that's it. That's all we've heard from ZT since 2021. A fixed blade. And that's it. Like, we've seen a reissue of the 0640 in black, And they made a big deal about bringing back this little 3-finger knife, the 0022. And I think they brought back the 0230. And that's it. Both of which are really like tiny little fifth pocket sort of knives. And in the case of the 0022 and the 0230 is a double D10 slip joint. Like, come on. Where did the ZT that I know and love go? I don't get it, man. We had the 0450, we had the 0452, the 0462, which is amazing. The 0470, which was like a really beautiful design in my opinion, right? 0562, beautiful knife also. That was a Hinderer, if you guys didn't know, right? And there's so many others that they discontinued. The Les George, or not Les George, R.J. Martin, 0606, right? They don't make that anymore, and that thing was practically like a factory custom knife. They had always had a history of making some beautiful, beautiful knives. And you go to their website right now, and you go to Coming Soon, and you're greeted with a message that says, we can't find products matching this selection. Because there's nothing new coming down the pipeline. Really. And I'm so saddened by this fact, right? ZT, please come back. That's really like the takeaway of this message, right? The whole takeaway of this video for me. If you can tell, like I'm emotional about this, right? Because we need great American factories to come back, you know? We need great American stuff in this field, man. And it's such a shame that you guys have kind of disappeared in almost in totality. It's really a shame, you know, because for those of us who've been in this long enough, you know, we remember how good ZTs could be. For a company, a factory, to make a knife like this says that they're bold, says that they're willing to take chances, says that they're willing to be innovative. So this is the last I'm going to do it, but please, ZT, please come back. Please show people what you're capable of. This sort of absence from the marketplace is depressing. It genuinely is. And I miss you. I really do. And if you're just going to keep on bringing back some of your old designs, bring this guy back, the 0640. I want another one. And I don't want to pay second market rates on it. Okay? I'd love to just buy a new one from you guys directly. I mean, if that's what it's got to be, I'll accept it. But I know you're better than just giving me the old stuff. So please, please come back.